Happy Friday, everyone. Todd Bourne here in the Forecast Center with an update on what's going to be a rather dry forecast for us for at least the next week, possibly longer. Something we'll have to keep an eye on, possibly developing in the Gulf late next week. Details on that in a second. Meantime, sunshine the rule today as temperatures this afternoon have warmed into the low to middle 80s. We'll probably end up in the mid to upper 80s when it's all said and done. Remnants of Helene are merging with that big upper level low over the Tennessee River Valley, producing a lot of issues with very heavy rain and, of course, power related issues because of all the wind. At one point, we had almost 5 million without power in the southeastern sections of the country and still over 4 million without power right now. Fortunately, those numbers are beginning to go down, and that downward trend likely will continue as conditions begin to improve here during the next several days. Here at home, we're looking at really nothing too much as far as rain. Futurecast does show some, but pretty much all other high-res models keeping us totally dry. Worst case scenario, we see some clouds move over much of the ArkLaTex during the evening and nighttime hours tonight. Tomorrow, we will see a mix of clouds and sunshine. Temperatures likely returning to the mid to upper 80s. The clouds will decrease tomorrow night, and we will see plenty of sunshine across the ArkLaTex on Sunday as temperatures creep into the mid to upper 80s, probably more upper 80s than middle 80s, and a few locations actually could make it to 90 as soon as tomorrow or even Sunday. Here's a look at the longer range weather pattern. You can see the remnants of Helene, that big upper level low moving off towards the east. Upper level high pressure will build over the southern half of the country, warming us up. In fact, we likely will begin October with temperatures in the 90s over much, if not most, of the area. Notice the rain over South Louisiana, according to this particular model, early next weekend. That could be something tropical. More on that in a second. We will see that to move off towards the east, and again, that is still very much up in the air. The National Hurricane Center does indicate there is a slight chance, a very low chance, that we will see something develop in the Western Caribbean, which could move into the Gulf of Mexico here in the next 7 days. But the global model is kind of all over the place, so that far out as to where we will see something develop and if we will see something develop. So the jury is still out on whether or not we'll actually see anything, just something we'll have to keep an eye on here during the next week or so. In the meantime, tonight here at home, we'll be watching a partly cloudy sky as some of the wraparound clouds from that big upper level low, remnants of Helene, stream southward through the area. Lows not as cool tonight in the low to middle 60s, 66 degrees in Shreveport, 63 in Texarkana, 62 in Longview, 63 in Marshall. Another very warm day tomorrow as we start the weekend with a high in Shreveport at 88 degrees, 84 in Texarkana, 90 for the daytime high in Natchitoches under a partly cloudy sky. And for the next 10 days, we likely will stay dry the way it looks right now. That's what the majority of the model is indicating for our area. Daytime highs will peak early next week in the low 90s. We'll fall back into the 80s by the end of the week. Overnight lows will pretty much stay in the middle 60s. Again, as of right now, it looks like we will stay dry next weekend, but we'll have to keep an eye on whether or not we'll see anything develop in the Gulf of Mexico, which is a possibility. If it does, it would affect us very late in this 10-day period.